By the mid-'80s, Joe Montana was a two-time Super Bowl champion and a two-time Super Bowl MVP. An intimidating presence to a rookie receiver in 1985.
I remember walking into that locker room and I looked across and it was like deer in the headlights. I'm looking at the man, I'm looking at God, Joe Montana, and I was so nervous, but he really made me feel comfortable, and I knew that we would have a great relationship together.
Montana was football's ultimate winner. Though during his era there were quarterbacks with stronger arms, a quicker release, and more chiseled physiques.
They were so skinny. He didn't have a calf. I'm like, how can this guy move around like that? But, the thing about him, he was elusive. You couldn't catch him. He could feel pressure, and he would get rid of that football. If he didn't have the primary, it was the second or the third receiver.
Just complete control of the offense, precision, it's a clinic.
I wanted to play the game as more of a chess game, and one move's going to lead to another, and you're not always going to get the king immediately. 4-yard here, 5-yard there, 10-yard here is as wearing, if not more, on a defense than 170-yard touchdown. And that was more my style than anything.
He knew exactly where everybody was going to be on that football field. And I think that's really what made him the best quarterback, and plus he was Joe Cool. You knew that when everything was on the line, if you had a minute left in the ball game, Joe wouldn't let us down.
So there's 2 seconds left, and Montana will get one throw. Here is Montana throwing for the end zone. Right place, he's got it! Touchdown, 49ers!
Super Bowl 23 on the final drive.
With 3:10 remaining, the 49ers will have to go from their 8-yard line.
We were at ease. We had the best quarterback, and that was Joe Montana.
Montana played in 4 Super Bowls and won them all. In those 4 victories, he threw 11 touchdowns and no interceptions. He is the only 3-time Super Bowl MVP. There may have been passers more imposing physically and more impressive statistically, but no big game quarterback was more awe-inspiring.
I think the greatest quarterback that ever put on football cleats is 2 words, Joe Montana.
When you think of Montana, you think of the catch. It's got to be number 1.
It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
There are few games, if any, in NFL history which were as seminal. You had essentially the end of the Landry Cowboy era and the start of the Walsh 49er era.
And they marked the ball down at the San Francisco 11. That's how far they have to go to win.
Well, at that point, Montana had done the Saints comeback. He'd done the chicken soup game, but this is the Dallas Cowboys. They knocked the 49ers out of the playoffs in 70, 71, and 72. Can Joe Montana actually drive them all the way down?
That game is about the defining moments of the last 2 minutes. Who is this guy, Montana? I'm John Wayne, and John Wayne never loses.
It's 3rd and 3 from the 6. San Francisco has never won a championship in professional sports.
58 seconds left.
We're going to call a sprint option. He's going to break up and break into the corner. Okay, you got it? The right will clear.
Montana lines up at the 5. And on 3rd down and 3, he rolls right looking to throw. He throws into the end zone.
As a 49er fan growing up, you're thinking, just get rid of the ball. Just give us one more play. He releases the ball, and it's just, oh, thank you. We have one more chance. And then a blur. Shouldn't be there. Down comes Dwight Clark, and football changed forever.
The ball is put down. The kick is away. It is long enough, and it is good. And with 3:20 left to go, the Bengals take a 16-13 lead.
And then the Bengals score late, and all of a sudden, whoa, the 49ers are going to lose the Super Bowl.
They got the ball, and they had to go 70, 80 yards, whatever it was, and Montana's in the huddle of the Super Bowl, and he's looking around in the crowd, and, hey, look, there's John Candy. John Candy's here at the Super Bowl. And check it out, guys. He just had a calming presence about him and calmed everybody down in that huddle, and the players believed in him.
I think it was very calculated. Don't make it bigger than it is. It's football.
The 49ers have a long way to go. Montana back to throw on first down. Throws over the middle. Completes it to Craig. Craig is to the 16.
And everybody knows about the drive, and it was so meticulous and thoughtful, and it was classic Joe.
Montana with a first down. Two receivers near side. Joe back to throw. Steps up. Throws. Out here for Rice. He has it at midfield.
Like, man, this guy is so cool. Three-step drop, hitting Jerry Rice. You're just sitting back and like, this guy's making it look easy.
Montana trying to drive in the length of the field here with the game in the balance. 16-13, the Bengals lead. Montana back to throw. Throws over the middle. A fine catch by Rice.
Montana just hits him perfectly in stride to the point where Rice can catch it and break the second tackle.
I think in his mind, it was just, hey, this is what I do. Everybody else was going crazy. Like, this is unbelievable. This is the best drive ever.
At the 10-yard line, 39 seconds remaining. Back to throw Montana. Steps up, throws. Touchdown! Taylor another for the touchdown. A 10-yard pass. The 49ers have scored with 34 seconds remaining.
Oh, he zipped that ball. It was so tightly thrown. It was so beautiful.
That's the epitome of the Bill Walsh, Joe Montana era, that drive. And I'm telling you, 300 years from now, it'll still be on tape, DVD, something, and people will still marvel at it.
What made him different in the second half of the game, it's that when you broke the huddle and you came to the line of scrimmage, you saw in the other guy's eyes, they knew who they were playing, and they also knew they didn't have any chance.
Throwing is Montana. Cox his arm, dumps the pass, wide open, leaping two-hand catch, made 7-yard line by Cash, angle to the sideline, the 5, he's in for a touchdown! Kettle sets, punt fakes, there's a line drive down the middle into the end zone, touchdown! J.J. Burton!
It was a perfect throw by Joe Montana.
They tried to blitz him, but the Chiefs did their best 49ers impersonation.
You know you won when Buddy Ryan stopped blitzing. He stopped and had to go do something else. We knew at that point that we got him.
Back to pass, Joe Montana. Looks right, arches a pass, into the end zone, a backpedaling, leaping catch, touchdown! I don't believe what I just saw! Montana Magic is back, alive and kicking in Houston, Texas.
And Montana has struck 3 touchdown passes in the second half.
And it's classic Montana, man, coming back late in the game to lead his troops to victory in the playoffs.
At this point, it's Montana Elway. That's legit. Everybody's ready to see if John Elway can step up and match Joe Montana. First drive, Montana to Rice, right down near the goal line. Boom, there's Steve Atwater. Steve Atwater's on the ground. Jerry Rice goes into the end zone. Pretty much looks like game over at that point.
From minute 0 to minute 60, this was full flower Montana, decimating a defense.
Throws for the end zone. Taylor! Touchdown 49ers! Pump fake by Montana. Launches it for the end zone. Jerry Rice! Oh, what a catch by Rice!
I told you to be there.
I mean, that was one of those, here's a blank check, fill in the blanks. I mean, the 49ers could have scored 105 points that game.
Looks over the field, goes for the end zone. Jerry Rice, touchdown 49ers! And the Bay Area may begin its celebration earlier than anticipated.
Joe Montana, the great 49er quarterback, the third-round pick in the 1979 draft, directed 31 fourth-quarter comebacks.
So there's 2 seconds left, and Montana will get one throw. Here's Montana throwing for the end zone. Rice late, he got it!
A 4-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Montana drops back, short drop, fakes once. He's going to run it himself. He's into the end zone.
Joe Montana, I'll say he is the best who's ever played the game.
That was a huge point in my life. He was my idol. When you saw Joe Montana on TV, you knew your team had a chance. And
You know, 49er faithful. Love Joe. My mom loved Joe.
Mine did too.
Yeah, my mom loved Joe. And
my mom hated him. My mom hated him. Beat us twice in the Super Bowl. A lot like Tom. He made it look easy. And I know it's not easy. Yeah. Believe me, I know it's not easy. It's far from easy. And I ran that offense. But his footwork, his timing, his accuracy, there was never a double clutch. It was just always in rhythm.
To make it look this easy, I wonder what it feels like inside.
He just made it look easy, and it's not easy.
Yeah. Well, for the millennials out there, you, Bill Belichick, were the defensive coordinator for those Parcells Giants teams that would butt heads with them every single year. What was the main priority for you in trying to contain Joe Montana?
The only chance you had was to try to disrupt the timing. Just as Brett said, that offense is based on timing. When that foot hit, the ball was gone, and it was out on time. And the only chance you had was to try to hit the receivers and try to make him, hold the ball for a second and make him clutch it a little bit. But he was a nightmare. I still see him hitting Jerry Rice on an 80-yard touchdown pass with a minute to go in the game in Giants Stadium to beat us. That still drives me crazy.